welcome along to the Sporty Show. Happy Monday, and thank you as always for joining us. I am your host, Sara Alex, and what a weekend we had. Controversy in La Liga and in the Premier League. Well, where to even start? I think there is only one place to start, but before we do that, let me introduce the one, the only, who's very excited to talk about this, Mr. KlintonCod.
Hey. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what's up? It's your boy KlintonCod. As usual, it's a beautiful day the Lord has made to talk about Chelsea's loss against Brighton. That's the one I'm really excited to speak about. Alex, actually...
What place are Chelsea in?
Sorry?
What place are Chelsea in?
Well,
about 11 places higher than Man United.
Right, okay. I mean, we've not gotten into Manchester United yet. We are speaking about Chelsea.
And actually, we're speaking about the tallest man.
Well, exactly. We've not even introduced the tallest man yet, and it's already going into Manchester. What's your problem, man? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I saw somebody way taller than the tallest man in Madrid, and that, I think that one has been stripped off already from you now, Alex.
No, I've got a secondary source that says I'm the tallest man in the world. Alexander Soloth at the weekend, he saw me and he said it.
Bro, who cares? Who cares about Alexandra Soloth, man? If you mention that name in Lagos, nobody knows who that is, man. Jesus Christ. Tell me about somebody that is known, who's told you that you are the tallest man in Madrid.
I reckon if you know who Alexander Soloth is in the comments, say yes, because you know who he is.
And please, for saying yes, you have to be from Nigeria, because that is where we are drawing the question from, okay? Anyways, it's Alex. Alex, what's up, man? How's your weekend?
I'm good. It was a good weekend. Lots of football. Lots of goals, lots of controversy, and, well, an exciting one.
And a very sore loss for Chelsea.
Yeah, no, even Sara won for Manchester United against
I know, it wasn't as bad, though, fam. It was only 1-0 for Manchester. Yours was good 3.
Yeah,
good 3.
I'd rather lose and drop to 6th than stay in 15th.
But it's not, it's not a bad position here. We're talking about the one loss. No, listen.
So you're right with being 15th,
no, listen.
Relegation battle! All right, before we jump in, this is what's coming up on Sporty TV. Right after today's show, we have Leeds versus Sunderland in the EFL Championship, and Mr. Alex Ashmore will give us a little best bet for that one. On Friday, we have Newcastle Jets versus Brisbane Roar. We have Damak versus Al Ahly over in Saudi Arabia, as well as Ronaldo and Al Nassr versus Al Ettifaq on Friday as well. We still have Burnley and Sheffield. In the J-League on Saturday, we have Osaka versus Shonan, Melbourne Victory versus Melbourne City, Sunderland once again for our producer Ben versus Hull, and in the English Premier League, we have Arsenal versus West Ham. In the Bundesliga, we'll see Borussia Dortmund taking on Union Berlin, and in La Liga High Promotion, Sporting Gijón versus Almeria. Also, Boca Juniors in action against Aldo Civi, and San Martin versus River. On Sunday, we have Hiroshima versus Yokohama, Club Brugge versus Dejlish, Addis versus Pantilokis, and in Serie A, it's Empoli versus Atalanta, and in La Liga, finally to wrap it up, Real Sociedad versus Leganés. All right, as always, a lot of football here at Sporty TV. We have you covered, but here's what's coming up on today's show.
On today's Sporty Show, we go over all the Premier League results of the weekend, including Manchester United's poor loss to Tottenham yesterday. La Liga has also been trending lately for all the wrong reasons, as this weekend's round of fixtures saw a total of 6 red cards, including Jude Bellingham's controversial sending off against Osasuna. And we also go over the action from around Europe, including yesterday's big win for Juventus against Inter Milan.
Well, before jumping into all of that, just for KlintonCod here.
Hold on.
Markinde, who's from Nigeria, says yes.
No, Markinde wasn't responding. He wasn't responding to that one. He was responding to the fact that you guys lost 3-0 to Chelsea.
No,
that was not it.
Yes,
Chelsea lost to Chelsea.
Sorry. Chelsea lost to Brighton. That's what he's saying yes to.
And then Sele said, I'm from Nigeria and I've known Soloth since his Crystal Palace.
Come on, man.
Drop your comments.
Sele is a liar, man. That name sounds like it's from Sierra Leone. What's your problem, man? People will just wake up and be claiming that they're Nigerians because we're the giant of Africa.
He says he's Nigerian and he knows who Soloth is.
No. A lot of Africans are trying to claim that they are Nigerians. That name is from Sierra Leone. From, what's the name of that town? Is it Cape? Do you know the name of that part of Sierra Leone? I'm trying to remember that part. I'll come back to you.
Do you know that part of Sierra Leone?
Freetown, that's the one, yes. Freetown. Oh, you see, we're talking about Cape Town, all the towns. Freetown is one of them. We'll come back to that.
Thank God for Google and Alex there. Yeah. I'm from Edo State.
Thank you.
Yeah, but Edo State is not Nigeria, though.
Is it not?
No.
Where's it
from?
What?
Edo State? on, man. Wait, you guys don't know what Edo State is?
Why are they saying they're from Nigeria?
That's what I'm telling you. A lot of Nigerians, a lot of non-Nigerians want to always claim that they are Nigerians. Edo State is not
Maybe-
from Nigeria.
maybe it was a
officially
miss-
known as Edo State, is the state in the south-south geopolitical zone of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Of non-Nigeria, of Niger. You are not reading
Maybe,
it well.
maybe
Niger.
he meant to put Igbo.
What?
You just misspelt it.
No, this is Nigeria. Sorry.
See, this guy is just confusing. Let's move on, man. They're confusing you guys, man.
Nigerians know
Capital
who Saul
Benin
off
City,
is.
city in Nigeria. All right. Let's jump right in. Manchester United down to 15th place after their loss to Tottenham Hotspur with a goal from James Maddison to give the Spurs a little bit of hope so far over the weekend. Clinton, we have to talk about maybe the bench of this team. And right now, all the injuries Manchester United are suffering.
Are we starting with Manchester United?
Oh, absolutamente.
Why? I mean, Chelsea was on Friday.
Everyone
Manchester
knows about Chelsea. It's old news
That's
now.
old news,
Manchester United was the most recent game.
Yeah, but we've not spoken about Chelsea. We left.
I make the rules. I'm the host. We're starting with Manchester United.
Well, you guys on this show, man. So we are going to start with Manchester United.
Yep.
Leave your comments, guys. Are Manchester United going to be relegated this season? Let us know what you think about them. But Clinton, listen, this was the bench for United. Obviously, they had all their starters more or less. Højlund, Garnacho, Xerxes, Dorgu, Casemiro, Bruno, Dalot, De Ligt, Harry Maguire, Mazraoui, and Onana. This is the bench. Cheeto Obi Martin, Ellie Harrison, Harry Amos, Aiden Heaven, Victor Lindelof, Tyler Fredrickson, Jack Fletcher, Sekou Kone, and Jack Lee Morehouse. The entire Manchester United B team. This is like the U18s at this point. What were you thinking going into the match against Spurs and seeing that was the reserve?
Well, first of all, you see, I was only hoping that Tottenham, knowing that they are literally in a very poor form this season, that somehow we're going to manage something. Now, truth is, if you watched that game, you would have seen that Manchester United, they put up a fight, right? Garnacho had some open chance that, 2-year-old kids probably will score. Like that makes.
What's that noise?
That was bad.
No, it was bad. You saw it, right? Like for me, at Garnacho level, at least if there was something we should be drawing that game, it should have been a tie. Like we saw how many chances Manchester United were able to create, especially at that second half of the game. What happened there was we just saw a Manchester United who are not just equipped enough to beat a deformed Tottenham. We know everybody has been collecting 3 points from Tottenham. I don't understand why Manchester United. I mean, look at the likes of Xerxes, right? People are saying, "Oh, he's very skillful," but my man, I see him like some lazy. I've told you guys, this guy should be working in some photo studio doing photo shoots, because when you see him on the pitch, the body language my man gives you there is, "I'm not here to play football." You see him not chasing. Garnacho missing such an open chance. I'm still going to give Garnacho the credit. He's very hardworking. He's the guy who knows he's fighting for that badge. But there are some things you will not expect from a Garnacho, because we've seen him score incredible goals. We've seen him score goals from crazy distances. So why would you see such an opportunity, a goal that's been given to you in a placard? Like literally, it's literally just there.
But I think it's because Garnacho's performance over the season at Manchester United has gone down. When he was linked to go to Napoli in January, I was hoping he would, because he's young, he has a lot of talent. The future is bright for him, right? But he has gotten worse as a player over this season at United.
Right now, in United, there are only 2 players who I can tell you they are fit to play for the club. I still put Garnacho there and Amad Diallo. Even Kobe Mainoo, right?
Well, Amad
No,
Diallo isn't fit. Amad Diallo's not fit to
No,
play.
no. When I say fit, obviously, I'm saying that these are people who should be in Manchester United.
So not Bruno Fernandes,
Yeah,
the captain.
Bruno Fernandes is done.
So he's, okay.
No, Bruno
player of the
Fernandes is
match
done.
in that one.
Casemiro is done.
Well, this we knew.
Like, literally, right now, there are only 2 players who are fit to stay there. It's Amad Diallo and Alejandro Garnacho. Like, those 2, no way. But let me tell you the problem we have with Manchester United. Is the fact that there are clubs that, when you look at their team, they have one player, like I don't know if it was AC Milan or Inter Milan we were discussing, when I think it was Inter, when we were saying that every single position, was it Inter?
Yeah, it was Inter.
Yeah, we were saying every single position has a spare.
Yeah.
That if this person is not working, this person coming in, is going to literally do exactly what the person going out
They
to
have
do.
a spare in every position.
In every single
United
position.
Start
United, we don't even have
in the
no
positions.
Sorry?
They start the spare.
No, Yeah, no.
They don't have a spare.
No, let me
They
tell
can
you,
only use the
no.
spare.
In the whole of Manchester United, we only have 2 players. So we don't have the main players and spare. So all of them currently, they're not even as good as being spares. So that is one of the problems we're having to face in that club.
But they've spent money. I think that's the issue too, right?
Spending money on what?
Well, all these.
Lots of bad players.
That's
the thing.
Yes, but that's still spending money, right? Like it's like they make these moves in the transfer windows that, whether you can agree with them or not, they are spending money. They are trying to fill these gaps. But now you're looking at it, and now you have a bunch of injured players out on loan, and your entire backup is a B team.
I think I did this before January, where I sort of went through a few of the players in that squad, and I said whether they were good enough or not. They haven't done anything in January.
I think you might have to change the list, because even the players that you said were okay, maybe not anymore.
I think if I go through it now, Onana I'd get rid of. He's not good enough to be a Premier League goalkeeper. Lenny Yoro, he's young, he will improve. Lisandro Martinez, I'd get rid of him. I don't think he's good enough. Matthias de Ligt, don't think he's good enough. Get rid of him. Harry Maguire, maybe keep him for experience because he's got that. He's had time at United and he's actually not been bad.
You're not saying this because you're British, though.
No.
Right.
I mean, Victor Lindelof, I'd get rid of. Johnny Evans, I'd get rid of. Dorgo actually thought was fairly impressive yesterday. He held his own against a good Tottenham attack. Luke Shaw, I'd get rid of. So he's a British player I'm getting rid of.
Right, okay.
So I'm
because it's short, but go on.
Diego Dalot, I'd probably keep. Mazwari, maybe I'd keep. Ugarte, keep. Casemiro, he's past it, and he's been long past it.
Definitely.
Kobe Mainoo, keep. Christian Eriksen, past it, get rid of him. Bruno Fernandes, maybe keep. Mason Mount, get rid of him. Garnacho.
No, for me, Garnacho, listen, I'm actually surprised that we're having to think about Garnacho as somebody who needs.
It's because he's so inconsistent, and when he's on the pitch, he looks like he doesn't have a care in the world. You see him play these passes, or that shot that he had where there was a one defender to the right of him, and he had Vicario to beat, and he put it about 10 yards over the bar. For a player of his calibre, you should not be putting it that high over the bar. You should be getting it on target. You should be testing the goalkeeper. It's his attitude. It's just the way he goes about his game. I think they should keep him, but he's definitely got an attitude problem.
No, 100% I would agree with you. I don't think that he's a player that should be going at this point. No. Because whether we like it or not, we know he's a proper threat on that left-hand side. He's a proper threat to even defend us. Like when he's taken the ball, you see how fast he is. Apart from that one chance, we saw how many times he tried to strike. And some of them were, there was one shot he had on the goalkeeper, which was literally on target.
That was a good shot.
It was a good one. Now, the truth is, we know what he's capable of doing. We know when he wants to play, he plays. As a matter of fact, he's one of the most threatening players in the Premier League, in as much as he's just playing in the deformed Manchester United. Fact is, if this guy decides to go to a whole new club, you'll probably see a whole different level of Garnacho. Now, we see the
That's my point. I think he has 3 Premier League goals this season. We know the talent that he has because we've seen it. But I think it's diminishing at this club. And I'm sorry to say, but I think he's too young to be too tarnished at this age. He's got to get out. We've seen what happens to players when they leave. They come back. There's like a weight lifted off their shoulder. And I think he's way too young to be... 3 Premier League goals, Clinton, is not enough, even for
very bad. No,
it's bad.
He is very bad.
There's a comment here, actually, from, I believe it's Markinde, saying that Mikel Merino started as a striker yesterday and has more goals than Højlund, Xerxes, and Garnacho.
Don't get me started on Xerxes. Yesterday was awful. He's just not up to it. His first touch, his passing, his positioning, his shooting.
For me, it's a body language.
He's completely devoid of any confidence. He doesn't look like he belongs. Yes, he's not an out-and-out number 9. Sorry, he calls himself a 9.5. I don't know what that really means. It just means he does half of the job of a number 9 and half the job of a number 10 and does them badly because I get that he's up there on his own, and Højlund was up there on his own as well. They seem to be so disjointed that they weren't really playing together. They don't get the service, but when they do get the service, when he gets the ball...
Oh, why are they showing me this goal again?
Xerxes was... The amount of chances Xerxes had where he could have played the right pass, or he played it too late, or he misplaced his shot. He's just really not cut out to be a Premier League striker at a top club. It's beggars belief how poor his performance was yesterday.
Yeah, I agree. Clinton, now the Premier League has a long way to go still, and Manchester United are 15th, as I mentioned. They have 29 points as it stands, which is, I think, good enough. I don't think they will get relegated. They're 10 points ahead of 17th place Wolves right now, so I think they're okay. But if Manchester United finish, I mean, even 15th is already bad. But can you imagine if it becomes?
This is Manchester United.
That's what I'm
This
saying,
is
though.
crazy.
We're talking. They are past the bottom half. They are in the bottom. This is the bottom half for sure. And I just want to, let you know about some games they have coming up. Obviously, they're playing at Goodison Park, Everton, this weekend.
And Everton is likely to win us.
Absolutely.
Hey, this Everton now.
If you're a betting person, Sporty Bet. They have Ipswich Town at home, which they basically need to collect points in that game. They have a FA Cup game against Fulham. Then they play Arsenal, Leicester City, Nottingham Forest, Man City, Newcastle, back to back to back.
Christ.
So they play Forest away, City at home, and Newcastle at St. James's Park.
Hang on. I think there's one team there that I feel like Manchester United have hope of winning, right? Which is Leicester. Now, I'm not saying it's confirmed, okay? If Manchester United would go into playing with Leicester with how they've just played Tottenham, fact is we don't have any game to win in everything. All these teams that are their opponents in the future. Now, truth is, if they are performing against a Tottenham, because y'all don't understand, there is no team. Every single team look at Tottenham right now and be like, this is just easy 3 points for us with how badly they've been performing. But Manchester United made them look like they were like they were literally fighting against Real Madrid. Like, Tottenham all of a sudden became so bright. This is Tottenham that, bro, I was like, hang on, is this Tottenham playing Manchester? Wait, listen, Amorim, he's somebody I feel so much pity for. Yeah, because when you look at him, that man is, bro, how old is he? Yeah, Amorim is 40 years old, right?
I think around there.
Bro, if K is not taken in 1 year, he's going to be 48.
40.
I think in a way it's almost a good thing, and you hope and you pray that Sir Jim Ratcliffe sees how bad it is and realises how much investment is needed in this squad. I think also when you look at how I brought this up a number of times over the last couple of months about staff being paid poorly or having their bonuses reduced, just poor treatment of staff that aren't players or coaches, and they're the ones that aren't the problem. You hope he sees this and realises how dire of a situation they're in, that it's been 12 years since Manchester United won a Premier League. If you'd have said to Sir Alex Ferguson in 2013 that in 12 years' time you won't have won another Premier League,
you will be on 15th.
It would be. I think he might. I don't know what.
He'll probably be like, no, I need to just stay on coaching.
Yeah, he'd be like, actually, no, I'm coming back. Because for a club like Manchester United to have not won the Premier League in 12 years is diabolical. And to have the money that they've spent under Ten Hag, they spent close to £250 million under Eric Ten Hag. Are they any better after that 700 million? I don't think so.
No.
He was there for 2.5 seasons.
Well, they're in fact worse.
Yeah.
They're 15th. They haven't been 15th.
I don't think we've
in this duration of 12 years.
But I think this is what I'm saying in terms of it's got so bad. I almost think it's good that it's getting to this stage where hopefully they will realise that they need a complete reset. Because I think with Ten Hag, it was, he won an FA Cup, let's keep it going. It was almost sort of...
No, this is what I was saying from the beginning, though.
Sort of
winning
to the finish
anything
line.
was bad for United because it gave them that glimmer of hope, and because they beat Manchester City, and it was, guys, everything's going to be fine. They need to crumble and burn. I've said it here on this show before. Getting relegated might actually be the best thing for them. I don't think they will.
No, Sarah.
You guys need to start from scratch.
Sarah, be calming down. We can start from scratch. Yeah.
Maybe not in the Championship.
I mean, it's not in Championship. Come, man,
You're playing Championship level football.
This is Manchester United, man.
Okay, but I haven't seen the Manchester United that we all know from back in the day that won so many Premier Leagues, that competed in the Champions League. Like half my life almost?
Yeah,
Excuse me?
Yeah, no, I understand we need to reset. Let's start from somewhere, but Championship, you want us to go start playing Plymouth and...
Well, they'll be in League One next season, but yeah, you get the point. Wrexham and Wigan, well,
Bro, we'll be playing Peterborough.
Teams like Derby County or Blackburn Rovers or...
Damn. Like, imagine... listen, if Casemiro's these days, imagine Casemiro...
I mean, at this moment, Casemiro is not cut out to be a Premier League footballer. It's as simple as that. he's well off the
I think
pace.
he's leaving at the end of the season as
I
a free
think
agent.
it's unfortunate to see, because on his day he was perhaps one of the best centre defensive midfielders of his era.
Obviously.
But it's dire moments for Manchester United, and they need a complete squad rehaul in the summer. And I said this, I think, the other day. It's going to be years before Manchester United are competing for titles again.
I think so. And also, we just didn't mention it because I think we spoke about it over the weekend, but not with you guys here. Amad Diallo is out for the rest of the season with an ankle injury, which was Manchester United's kind of last light, the last, glimmer of hope. The one player
For me, there were two, but go on.
Okay, well, you have the one, and he has 3 goals this Premier League season. So if that's what you're relying on, good luck.
No, I just felt like, having Amad Diallo and
Garnacho.
and then maybe having Kobe Mainoo sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Which I feel like,
The pickings are so, and maybe sometimes Kobe.
No,
even the way you're talking about it is sad.
It's
sometimes
sad.
maybe Kobe
It's sad.
Mainoo
Maybe
can
sometimes.
come.
Yeah, he can come save. Like, even sometimes too,
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes, we've seen him. You guys remember someone that told you that Bruno Fernandes is probably, I used to classify him as one of the best midfielders in the world, right? I used to literally put him on that level of the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, right? I just felt like he was playing in the wrong club. And I'm telling you guys for free, yeah, that what's his name? Bruno Fernandes he probably still has it in him. But that spirit of Manchester United affecting every single player in the club is probably affecting Bruno Fernandes at the same time. Even maybe Casemiro. I'm telling you for free. Fam, look at what Anthony is doing in Real Betis. Fam, look at the goal he scored yesterday. Like,
We'll get to it.
bro, oh, please, we have to get to it because these are some, it's scary. It's scary. The only person who's left Manchester United that felt like he was going to do something, and then the spirit of Manchester United just refused to depart, is just Jadon Sancho for now. But fact is, I feel like these guys, we know it's in them. Look at Marcus Rashford. I mean, I don't know how good he is with Aston Villa, but he seems to be getting some level of praises. They say, my man, all of a sudden something is woken up in him, right? So this thing might just be a spirit in the club that, like you said, we need to reset. And after resetting, they need to move the club. They need to literally destroy Old Trafford, go build another stadium somewhere and rename it. Maybe New Trafford. Let everything be fresh. Everything needs to be anew, right? And I'm not saying change the coach because we pretty much have a new coach. Amorim, we know how good he is, right? Fam, he didn't lose any game before he came to Manchester United. And look at how many, bro, since Amorim arrived in Manchester United, we've only won 4 games. 4 games. 2 at home, 2 away. Then about 2 or 3 draws. The rest of them are losses. Do you know how crazy that is for an Amorim? Amorim. Like, I don't even understand how that man still sits down and be like, I still want to coach this club. Just to tell you how much patience he has.
Every day you see how bad Manchester United are, it makes you realise how good of a job Jose Mourinho did when he was at the club.
No, how
Finishing
good
second.
everybody.
I mean, to finish second and to win the Europa League with Manchester United, the squad that Jose Mourinho had, he said it at the time and no one believed him. This is my best achievement in management. It really was. To do it with that squad is unbelievable.
Well, 59% of you who voted here say Manchester United should, in fact, sell Bruno Fernandes. Let's see. Let's move along, though. Let's talk a little bit about the other side of the city that happens to be blue. One, Omar Marmoush scoring his first hat trick for Manchester City, and what a match he had. Also, Ederson with another assist. I think he's the Premier League goalkeeper that has the most assists in Premier League history. Absolutely brilliant. But really, I mean, as much as I want to give Manchester City credit for this game because it was against Newcastle, this is a very hard opponent. But what Manchester City are we seeing? Every day I'm watching a new team every time. It's incredible to me because this performance was dominant.
Yeah.
This was, I mean, and from the beginning,
Absolutely.
they said, we are, and Omar Marmoush says, it's me today.
Yep.
And then, obviously we saw the crumble against Madrid last week, and what were your thoughts on this game, Clinton?
You know, what's that statement? I think we use it in Africa a lot, but you seem to know how to say it. We don't want peace.
I don't want peace. I want problem.
That's literally what Manchester City went into that game. Honestly, I was surprised. But then again, are we going to say that Manchester City just woke up, or was it Newcastle slept off? Because it could be either way.
Combination of both. I don't think you got to give credit to Omar Mahmoud.
No, definitely.
Like,
because obviously
there are
he
players
took,
that performed.
Of course, Omar Mahmoud, we have to. I mean, he has to be the man of the match even after scoring 2 goals. As a matter of fact, the first goal he scored, right? Let me tell you something about that goal that people don't get to understand, right? When that opportunity came, it was Omar Mahmoud and the keeper.
1v1.
And then you had Haaland on his left.
He said,
He said, no, this is my time to shine. And the way he scored the goal, listen, let's analyze this thing properly. That thing, he could have easily chipped the keeper and he maybe hit the woodwork, it would have just gone up. But he did it so perfectly. This stuff just, listen, the ball sank into the back of the net, right? That's to tell you a player who knows he knows his mojo, one. Number two, we understand that this guy is a high-level player. The confidence he had to have given that kind of goal, knowing that Haaland, he gave me the vibe of what what's the name of this player? There's this for Real Madrid, Endrick.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys remember there was a goal, Endrick. I think that was the first or second goal he scored for Real Madrid,
where he
right?
didn't pass.
There was Vinicius, there was Mbappe.
Yeah.
Mind you, it was outside the 18-yard box as well. He took the shot and he scored. Now, from the distance that he scored the goal, if he had missed, remember, there was Mbappe, there was Vinicius. Just think about what could have happened. Now, if Omar Mahmoud did that.
But he didn't.
Yeah, he scored. And then he came with another banger and then another one. Listen, I feel like it literally has to be illegal to have Haaland and Omar Mahmoud to be in the same team, even if they have to be in the same team. Like, FIFA need to say both of you cannot play at the same time. It should not be allowed. Because if Manchester City decides to say we want to be very consistent, and they have these 2 men, if Manchester City bounces back, bruh, no team would be able to put up with that team. I tell you for free.
Alex, Man City is now in 4th place. Obviously, it's not a big gap. They're 3 points ahead of, 1 point ahead of Bournemouth. Just scraping the surface there. But we have seen somewhat, I want to say, of a turn of the corner. They haven't done a full UE, let's say. But we've seen some blips and, chances for City to maybe break that, at least the UCL position spot here. But is it going to stick? When you've watched City, especially just in 2025, would you say that now is the time? Because now is usually the time of the season where Pep Guardiola and City absolutely smash it. They win every single game. Do you feel like that this season?
I think so for a number of reasons. One,
do you think that they're going to win every game?
Not win every game, but they're gonna
percentage of win rate percentage.
I mean, they've got 13 games left this season. Okay. I think they're gonna win. Yes, they got a tough run in, but I think they're gonna win at least 8.
Okay.
I think when you look at, I think for a number of reasons, they've still got a brilliant squad. Haaland, unfortunately for them, went off injured against Newcastle, but I think Pep Guardiola has said that he'll be all right for Real Madrid on Wednesday. Marmoush has come in and lit the world alight in Manchester. He's scored a hat-trick. That's not bad when you score your first goal for the club. It's a hat-trick in the Premier League against one of the most informed teams in the league, Newcastle United. They've got some really good players in that squad. Yes, they're still missing Rodri, but I think the additions of Nico Gonzalez, of Kusanov in the defence, Vitores, obviously we haven't seen as much of those two, but we'll see more of them. Omar Marmoush, I think, is one of the best signings of the January window across Europe, let alone just in the Premier League. And Pep Guardiola is an astute manager. He knows what he's doing. He's a clever manager. He'll know how to come through the other side of this. Another big reason is I don't think they'll beat Real Madrid on Wednesday. I don't think they'll get through to the Champions League, which means they can put all of their eggs in the basket, which is the Premier League. Yeah. And just focus solely on the Premier League. They don't have to worry about later on in the season where they've got last 16, semi-final, quarter-final, semi-final, final, the Champions League. They can just solely concentrate on the Premier League. And I think, I said this yesterday, I really wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the season the top 3 consisted of Liverpool, Manchester City and Arsenal in no
In
particular
that,
no particular order. I think to be honest, given how poor Arsenal, I think how difficult Arsenal's running without a strike
the
force.
injuries, yeah.
I could see City finishing second, and I still think they're the biggest threat to Liverpool's title.
You don't see Forest still being
I think Forest by the end of the season will drop out of the top 4.
You think?
Yep.
They've been on a bit of a bad bounce, obviously losing to Fulham over the weekend. They're being pushed down to third. City just 3 points behind Forest. It could all change next weekend. A team that hasn't been doing so well either. In 6th place, Chelsea losing back-to-back to Brighton. And my, oh my, Kaoru Mitoma, what a golazo.
Oh.
Messi-esque.
Oh.
Gentlemen, the control. I think that for me was what stood out. The way he controlled that with the pressure of a defender behind him, it was brilliant. But Alex, we'll come to you first because...
Alex, wait. Stand up.
Clinton standing up.
No. Sarah, stand up as well. Stand up as well, please. Stand up.
All right.
Stand up. Thank you. We need to...
You feel small.
No, I know. But
Can we just do it? Can we? No,
wait,
the
hold
camera
on.
of these two, please, and
No,
just
hold on,
zoom out
hold
a
on,
bit.
Wait.
Thank you very much. No!
You guys, whoever zoomed in, you are mad. But hold on, wait.
I'm cutting.
Wait, oh my God, this was a very bad idea, man. Jesus
What?
Christ. No, but we need to clap for Mitoma for just 20 seconds. Now, Mitoma, man.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I'll sit down so I'm on your...
We haven't. We gave him a. We didn't even stand up for.
Bro,
there's so many things.
that was a very bad idea from me.
Yeah, sorry. That's what's going out tomorrow.
didn't-
Check your socials.
No, don't do this. No,
I don't want peace.
No, please. I don't want problem now, please.
Guillaume, I know you're watching. You know what to do.
Guillaume, please. I
All
think I'll
right.
beg you, please.
Alex, though, let's talk a little bit about Chelsea. Back-to-back losses usually you don't necessarily see it with teams when they lose to a team that they're playing in a cup game and they have to play them again in the league. There is a lot more fight in it, and we didn't really see that from Chelsea. In fact, you would argue that this match was worse than the first one.
Oh, from start to finish, Chelsea were awful. I think I've got to give credit to Brighton. I thought Brighton played really well. They knew where Chelsea's weaknesses were and they knew how to pick them apart. That ball, that touch from Mitoma, the goal, the finish. I mean, the Chelsea defence disappointing again. I think Chalobah is really... I think she's been one of the most disappointing players in that defence.
Do you need a minute? That inhale was incredible.
I know.
Thinking about it all.
When I look at his performances since he's come in, he's really looked out of place, and he's looked. It's a downright shame for him because if you look at, I think the promise that he has as a player, and when he came back from Palace, I think Chelsea fans were hoping that he could have been a good addition to that defence, but he's been really poor. And from beginning to end, Chelsea were the second best going forward. Cole Palmer, I think this is the big thing with me. A lot of people will criticise Cole Palmer for his poor performances, but he's been carrying this team for the last 18 months. He can't continue to do it on his own. He needs more support around him.
Would you put it to just Cole Palmer, though?
Say again, sorry?
Would you put carrying Chelsea to just Cole Palmer?
I mean, yeah.
And would you say because of the goals as well?
I think Cole Palmer has been the main reason, far above any other reason, as to why Chelsea have been a good team in the last 18 months.
Okay, I agree.
Not even 18 months, 6 months. And you look at how poor or inconsistent, I think is the word, everyone else around him has been. You look at Madueke, you look at Pedro Neto, you look at Nicholas Jackson, yes, he's injured. That midfield, Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, yes, they've had players injured. Romeo Lavia is coming back from an injury, and it is just, there's only so much one player can do for a certain amount of time, and I think it's really starting to show that the squad isn't good enough. Yes, they've got 50, 60 players in that squad, but 20 or 30 of them aren't good enough to be playing Premier League football, let alone playing for Chelsea. So,
well, you got 30. Imagine Manchester United, though.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword, really. Would you rather have all your players injured?
I'd rather be Chelsea than Man United. If that's what you're asking me,
exactly.
This
Thank
isn't
you.
This
Thank you.
isn't
That's
a
what I was
double-edged
saying.
sword, Alex. This is
definitely not. You can't even
nobody
say
would
that.
rather.
I mean, imagine Nicholas Jackson goes. You have Nkuku, which I felt like he didn't turn up in that game, either, right? Literally, I don't think there was any Chelsea player that turned up. Now, Madueke felt really bright from the start of it until he had the injury and then he had to leave. And Pedro Neto, which we know he's pretty much somebody who we've seen him spark up that Chelsea. We know he has it in him. It just wasn't working out for him in that particular one. Caicedo, the same thing. Enzo, I mean, Cucurella, look, let me tell you, Cucurella, yeah, on that game, Listen, if you were going to audition a player just with that game, you shouldn't be playing for Spain. Now, he did not, like the way Minte was running around, it was literally making Cucurella do breakdancing. Bruh, it was shambolic. It was disgraceful. Chalobah, like you said, he went to Crystal Palace and he was putting out this monster performance, and he's now come to Chelsea, back to his original club, where, I mean, then again, we saw again where he really turned up for Chelsea. Now, it's to tell you that he's just a player who is not very consistent. And I don't think for a Chelsea kind of team, these are the kind of players you want. But let me now come to the ultimate problem here that a lot of Chelsea fans don't understand. They have a very weak, unconfident coach. Enzo Maresca is actually a very stupid guy. And I'll tell you the reason why. It's very easy. Now I'm beginning to see the reason why he keeps saying Chelsea is not in the title race. First of all, that is not a statement. A Chelsea caliber of coach should be put in the mind of players. That's not the kind of mindset. Mentally, you're not prepared for the job. You get into the job, the first thing you're thinking about is how I need to start winning games, how I need to be in top 4, how I need to win the league right from when you start. You don't come in to say, no, we have some jobs to do. We're not in the title race. You're only saying it because you don't have confidence. You are saying it because just in case it doesn't happen, I told them from the start. No. Chelsea is Chelsea. Chelsea is almost like the Manchester United we are speaking. Manchester United may have been a bigger club at some point, but Chelsea is still up there. If they give you the job as a coach, to come coach a team like Chelsea, you should be able to come and make Chelsea fans, make the players, give them some level of confidence and say, no, we are starting to find every single title right from the onset. They gave you everything you needed. They gave you all the players. At some point, we thought that Chelsea was a church. When we looked at their gym, it was crazy. You have everything to your disposal, and you tell me that we are not in the title race. Are you mad? Bro, you shouldn't be having that kind of job. You should be coaching Southampton. You should be coaching Ipswich.
It makes you realise how good the job that Thomas Tuchel did at Chelsea coming in.
Absolutely, man.
League with that squad. If you win the Champions League with Kai Havertz and Timo Werner as your main strikers, you're a magician. I think when you look at... I think Enzo Maresca is a good manager. I'll caveat with, I don't think he was ready for a job as big as Chelsea. I think when you look at the job he did at Leicester, around this time last year, they did start to dip. Yes, they got promoted. They got to the Premier League. That's the end goal. But I think when you look at... I don't think all the blame can be laid on Maresca. I think he's slowly building a style of play that he wants Chelsea to play. But I just think it's the recruitment, it's the
mentality for me as a coach. You just mentioned the Thomas Tuchel. Yeah. The moment Thomas Tuchel had the job, he literally said, we are coming here for the title. Yeah. And what did he do immediately? He delivered you a Champions League title. Do you know how crazy that is?
It's unbelievable.
Bro, listen. Maresca does not have the right mindset to be coaching a team like Chelsea.
Alex, will Chelsea finish in the top 4 before we move along? Yes or no?
No.
All right, we'll leave it at that and we'll see. We do have to move along to some La Liga action because, my oh my, were there ever so many red cards in La Liga, 6 across the board here and 2 just for Real Sociedad. Lots of controversy with VAR and referees, so let's start off with Jude Bellingham being sent off. Alex, early on in the match against Osasuna, should we see what he has to say and then we'll get into it?
Yeah. Post-match,
Jude Bellingham, this is what he had to say.
Well, yeah, it's clear that he made a mistake and there was a miscommunication. I remember the incident very well, but also I've seen the video and the video doesn't match the report. I don't want to go into too much detail what was said, but it's like an expression like joder, and it's difficult to, when a referee isn't sure, to determine that I've said something that I haven't, and as a result it kind of hinders the team. I hope that the footage will be reviewed and see that it's not the same as the report and that going forward, the federation can keep that under consideration because it is huge evidence, and obviously we can't change the result of this game. But I'd like to think that going forward there'll be a change.
All right, Alex. Let's unpack this, shall we?
Yeah.
So what was put into the post-match report was different than what was allegedly said by Jude Bellingham. And when you look at the videos, it does look like it is different. Fair enough. And should that be happening? Absolutely not. I think for Jude Bellingham, that's a shame, and I don't think that's fair. I think what Jude Bellingham, though, needs to not do is use Spanish expressions and relate them to English when he doesn't know, because I think anyone who saw that and knows what he was saying about those two words doesn't mean the same thing. He said more than what he just said on the pitch, right? So I think that was, I just think he shouldn't have said as much, because sometimes the people will take that and tangle it up a bit. But all these points aside, do you think he should have been sent off?
No.
Okay, tell me
I
why.
think when you look at the grand scheme of things, I think if you looked over the last 8 months in the Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, Bundesliga, taking all the different languages, if you counted the amount of times that someone had said those two words, the F and then the off, to a referee, I think you could count quite a number of them where they haven't been sent off.
Yeah, but then they should all be sent off.
No, this is what I'm saying. I don't think players should be sent off, but I mean, there should be a caution. I think a yellow card is, probably the fair punishment. But the thing is, when you get in the heat of the moment, we've all played football. We all know how sometimes you can get a bit amongst it, and you get a. I think it's hard to sometimes control your emotions when you're in a football game, and I think the big thing is with Jude Bellingham, and I think we'll see it with those star players. We saw it quite a lot at Manchester United back in the day, where Cristiano Ronaldo was often the subject of some harsh refereeing. And I think sometimes these big players, I'm not saying they're targeted by the referee, but I think the referee wants to assert their authority on the game in such a way that they don't want to. They're not going to take any of that, basically, is what I'm saying. They want to stamp it out. Yes, I don't think it should be a part of the game. I don't think you should be using that sort of language towards the referee, but I do think a red card is a bit too harsh. And then when you don't even know what he said, and you think he said something different with the U on the end instead of the off, and you're sending him off for that reason, that just shows why it's a wrong decision in the first place, because you're making an assumption of what you think he said when English isn't even your first language. I flip that coin over. I don't think Jude Bellingham should have said that. He knows it himself. He said it there that he apologised to his teammates for putting them in that position of making it harder to win the game. And obviously they drew the game and dropped 2 points. But I think when you look at the whole situation, I think it's been blown magnificently out of proportion.
Mr. Cod, do you want to weigh in here?
Well, I mean, in my opinion, I think that was a very harsh red card. Now, if I was a ref, I probably would have given him a yellow to warn him to say, no, you can't be saying these kind of words. And obviously, as a Spanish ref, knowing that he's English and things may have been misquoted, but then again, I'm going to take it back to, some clip I saw from him when they faced Atletico.
Atleti, we were at the game together.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, it's sounding like this is Jude Bellingham, right? And this is his reacting mode. Fact is, he's a very young guy. And if I was to advise him, I would say, bro, you need to chill. You don't want to start painting yourself in this kind of image already. The people would always get frustrated. I mean, it's a game of strength. It's a game of decisions that are going to be made against you. And you've just got to learn how to control, that person. One thing I would say for sure is refs, when you look at them, as a player, don't just see them as ref. See them as elderly people who are old enough to be your fathers. Right? When you look at that ref, I mean, in my opinion, they deserve some level of respect. Yeah. Okay? You screaming that words that he kept on screaming in the one with Atleti, I felt like, come on, Jude. You are better than this. A woman would say, nah, bro, you are cuter than this as well. Like, you can't be, these things can't be coming out from you. I've known Jude Bellingham as one of those low-headed, calm players. He's a very lovely person. Like, if you have met Jude Bellingham one-on-one, you would say that, the ones I met him one-on-one, I felt like he was one of the most amazing, humble players I've seen in my life. But like I said, football is football. It will bring out the emotions out of you.
Right.
You know, people will do things that will piss you off. And those are the things we've always spoken about, Vinicius on the show, to say you need to learn how to control, you know, your personality when it comes to decisions going against you, or even your opponents doing stuff to piss you off.
Right.
Now, those are strong words to use against people officiating the game.
Right.
Okay? And you've got to calm that nerves down. I feel like you can scream at your opponent, but the person officiating the game, apart from him doing the job, they feel like they also deserve some level of respect.
Yeah. And
he should just calm down. Was it meant to be a red card? For me, definitely not. A yellow card should have solved the problem, and I felt that was very unfair.
I think we've seen what happens to footballers when they lose their temper in matches. I mean, the biggest one out of all, 2006 World Cup final, Zinedine Zidane lost his mind because Materazzi was told to provoke. And you know what? 9 out of 10 times, the person that's being provoked is the person that it's going to affect, and it's going to affect you in a bad way. Who won the World Cup? Who was sent off? It's situations like this where you can't let these players get... This is also part of the game. Referees are going to piss you off. Players are going to piss you off. And having a level head just goes the extra mile. It shows the maturity of a player. And also, we know how talented of a player Jude Bellingham is. Focus on that. Like Clinton said, we heard him saying F you to the ref in the derby against Atleti last week. Do you not think all refs are now looking at this saying, we have an eye on you? You can't speak to a ref like this. I think it's out of order, but I think Jude just needs to do better because it's taking away from him his game as well. What I think Real Madrid fans should be focusing on is maybe the fact that they should have had a penalty and not Jude being sent off. He swore at a ref, he should have been sent off, end of. But there were penalties that maybe should have been called, and I think it's like I'm a bit confused as to why that's not being focused on more, and the red card is. You swore at a ref, you got sent off. I think for me, end of. But there were a lot of calls again in this Osasuna game that were very wonky and one very obvious handball. And I think if you're a Real Madrid fan, this would piss me off more because this is a blatantly obvious, right? You and I were watching it earlier, Alex, but I think this is, you know, something that should be focused on maybe more. I do think, though, sending Jude Bellingham off will teach him a lesson, and probably a lesson that he needs. And I think now he's going to keep his head down a bit more.
I mean, it definitely would teach him a lesson. However, I still maintain that that may have not been the first time a ref, I mean that word, F off, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sure a lot of English players use down the pitch there, even to refs or
every day.
Every day, exactly.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's okay. Just because
no,
we have,
it's not okay. No. It's not, like I said, listen, Sarah, hold on. Sorry, yeah? Listen, remember, outside of the show, when that happened, I told you guys, I said, if I was a ref...
Oh, yeah.
No, I said, if I was a ref, me, with my kind of personality, if I was a ref and a boy who is as young as that tells me F off or F you, bro, I would drop my whistle and my card. I would land you. That might be the end of my refereeing career. But I will make sure. No, definitely. But what was your response? You said that's.
I said we're turning to the UFC.
It's definitely going to be the UFC because I will punch you straight up, right? But all I'm saying is, as a ref who's undergone some level of training, yeah, there are some things you might have to condone. And like I said, in England, they probably use this every single time. Doesn't mean it's right. However, we think that they need to start educating players also to understand that they've got to respect these refs. A red card, that was very harsh, but he's going to learn his lesson. If I was a ref, like I said, maybe a yellow and a punch. And that's the end of it.
All right, well,
the big question is, if Conor Gallagher had said that to a ref, I don't think he would have been sent off.
Why?
Because I think they see that Jude Bellingham, he has perhaps in the past been a bit flagrant with his language on the pitch, but I think if you put Conor Gallagher in that exact same situation and he said F off to a referee, I don't think they would have sent off Conor Gallagher.
Okay, well, I think the thing is we're never going to know unless Conor Gallagher does say it. I don't think he will anytime soon, considering what we've just seen. But I think the biggest takeaway from this weekend in La Liga is the referee situation because it seems to be going from bad to worse to unimaginable. And we spoke about it last week on Monday, and we're speaking about it again. And it is a shame because it is taking away from the league as a whole. But what I do want to get into is even though the reffing was poor, we did see some beautiful goals this weekend in La Liga. So, Alex, please give us your top 5 goals of the weekend in Spain, and Clinton and I will judge you harshly.
Yes, so for number 5, I've gone for Papegay against Valencia. It was a nice little strike, cut him from the right-hand side, a top corner finish. And there was some good selections. I had to whittle it down. There was 6, and I had to get rid of 1. And so that's my number 5. Number 4, I've gone for Alexander Sørloth's goal against Celta Vigo, the equaliser for Atletico Madrid. They're obviously down a man, down 1-0 against the Galician side. And, well, it was a good goal from Sørloth, who...
Where's Sørloth's goal, man?
This is a good question.
Oh, well, I guess we're not seeing it.
We're not seeing Sørloth's goal.
No Sørloth today.
OMG.
So, yeah, I went number 4, Sørloth.
We're on the
We do
third
see
one.
that eventually. Ball over
Here
the
we
top. Here we
go.
go. Muscled off the defender, put it past him, finish in the bottom corner. I think it's a real striker's goal. He said it himself, and a really good finish to power away from the defender. The touch and then the finish, I think, is brilliant.
That's a beautiful one.
Number 3, I've gone for Marc Roca at Real Sociedad, against Real Sociedad, sorry, in the 70th.
Qué golazo, qué golazo.
A brilliant goal. A goal, again, full of good goals, actually.
I mean, I thought that was a normal goal, but go on.
I mean, I'd like to see you score one of those.
I mean, I've done way better than that one, man.
Please,
He literally.
You've done it.
No,
No
wait.
one was there
No,
to see
no,
it.
listen. What he did there was okay. The only good thing I was giving him is he scored it outside of the 18-yard box. But I still see it as a normal goal that people score in the Premier League every single day. But
So
continue.
another goal that Clinton couldn't have scored is my number 2.
Nah, this one.
Anthony.
That's one.
Anthony, the
That's one.
man of
This-
the match,
this one.
4th time in a row, guys,
This
though. We
one.
do have to talk about that.
Unbelievable to catch it on the volley like that.
4 man of the match in a row.
I think if that was him in a
Give
Manchester
him the
United
Ballon
shirt,
d'Or.
Oh man.
if that was him in a Manchester United shirt, I think it would have gone over.
Nah, that would have gone to Asia, man. Southeast Korea.
So that
Incredible,
was my number 2.
incredible from
and my
Anthony.
number
Nah,
1,
Anthony, I'm proud of him, man.
my number 1, which was, I think I was close between
What?
Anthony's goal
Wait.
and this goal. This goal is my number 1.
Wait.
A finish from Isaac Romero against Rayo Valladolid.
Oh, that was beautiful. Look,
A
but
curled
hold on.
finish.
But wait, do we not have Premier League goals though?
No, we're just
Just
doing
doing
La
the La
Liga.
Liga one.
Yeah,
Obviously, I think if this was a top 5 across all leagues,
do you know the goal I was going to speak about?
are you going to talk about Omar Marmoush?
No.
No?
No.
Mitoma?
Matoma.
Come on, man. Somebody that
Made a
made me.
standing
He
ovation
made us
to
stand
him
up for this
already.
guy,
Yeah.
man.
No,
Jesus.
you made us stand up. I'm interesting that Joan Jordan's goal didn't make it from Deportivo Alaves.
That was the 6th goal that was
Okay.
cut out. But I think
Incredible.
a really good weekend of goals this
Yeah.
weekend in La Liga. And well, I always enjoy it on Monday morning, looking through all the goals. It's a hard
Alex,
decision.
give us your best bet for the Leeds and Sunderland match, which is coming up right after us on Sporty TV.
So I'm going to go for a Leeds win. I think home win. They're 1.58 to win. Both two very good teams. This has been the exciting thing about the Championship. There's so many teams up there. We see Burnley, Scott Parker doing a really good job there, and Sheffield United pushing for a spot there in the top 2. But I think Leeds will be too good for Sunderland. The away win is 6.08 on Sportybet, and I think it's just too hard to not go for the home win. So yeah, Leeds United to win at 1.58.
All right, brilliant stuff. Well, make sure you guys stick around for the Leeds and Sunderland match right after this. We have a ton of football coming up. And again, it's Champions League week this week. So we got watch-alongs, Clinton. Tomorrow, we will have our regular Sporty Show, and then we will stay with you for the watch-alongs. We'll do the same on Wednesday. And, yeah, we're back.
We didn't speak about Juve and Milan.
No, we got to go. Tomorrow, we have more time. We'll try and get
Okay.
into it. Mondays are crazy here, guys. Pleasure as always. Thank you for joining us. Back tomorrow, same time, same place. And until then, as always, enjoy the football.
Anthony. Boo!